Hi, this is Amy Romeo from the jewelry and craft making blog amyromeo.com, and on this channel I share fun and easy jewelry making and craft projects. Today in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make these little mask holders out of faux leather using a Cricut cutting machine. And I'll show you how to make these on both the Explore Air 2, the Cricut Maker, and also the Cricut Joy. I'll have the SVG cut patterns for you on my blog at amyromeo.com, and I'll link to them in the description box for you so you can grab this pattern and craft along with me. If you like this video, I really hope you'll subscribe to my channel so you'll be notified when I post new videos. And let's get started. Let me show you the materials I'll be using to make the mask holders. I will be showing you how to make these either with a Cricut Maker or an Explore Air 2 or the Cricut Joy. And there are just a few differences between the two, so I'll show you how to do both. You'll also need a purple strong grip cutting mat to cut the faux leather for the mask holder. And if you're going to add some vinyl as an accent to the mask holder, or if you're going to add a personalized name or something like that to the outside, you'll need a green standard grip cutting mat. And since the Joy doesn't have a purple mat, you'll use the green Joy mat to cut the faux leather, and I'll show you how to do that. You'll also need some blue painter's tape, a weeding tool, and a pair of scissors. You'll need a heat pressing pad. I'll be using the Easy Press Mini, but you could also use a regular Easy Press or a heat press, and then some kind of a cover sheet. I'll be using a Teflon sheet, but you could also use parchment paper. And for the faux leather that I'm using for this project, you want the faux leather to be relatively smooth, and you want it to be a little bit thicker than like let's say Hobby Lobby faux leather ribbon, which is a lot softer. You want it to be a little thick, and you want it to be kind of dense. You don't want the back to be very thick and felted. I'll leave a couple of options for you, and I'll let you know where I bought this one, and also this one that I'll be using to cut the Joy. It's hard for you to tell, but it's very firm, and it's going to cut the mask holder shape nicely. And then I'll be using some Caesar glitter HTV to add some interest to the inside of this pink one, and I'll link to this color. This is rose gold. You could use glitter, you could use regular heat transfer vinyl. It's really up to you. Now I'll show you where to get my SVG cut file for the mask holder. I have two sizes for you. I have one that will cut with the Maker and the Explore Air 2, and then I also have one that's smaller that's sized for the Cricut Joy mat. So let's head over to my blog, and I'll show you how to grab those files so you can make these yourself. To get the SVG patterns for the mask holders, you'll want to go to my website, amyromeo.com, and click on Resource Library to enter the library if you already have a password. If you don't, you can click here, Get a Password, and you'll fill out a form, and the password will be emailed to you instantly, and then you can return to the library. And in the library, you can either search for the word mask holders, or you can search for design number 158. Either way, you'll find it that way. In Cricut Design Space, once you've downloaded the file folder from my website, you'll need to unzip it to have the SVG file loose and available for upload to Cricut Design Space. So on my canvas, I will click Upload, Upload Image, and Browse. For the SVG file that's already been unzipped, I will click Open, and we'll see a preview here of the two shapes. And I will press Save. Click on the designs again to select them and insert images. So there's two different sizes of mask holders I've created for you. The pink one is designed to cut on an Explore Air 2 or a Maker, and the blue one is Cricut Joy sized. So this one will be smaller. It's great for a youth size or a child's mask, or if the Joy is the only machine you have and that's what you can make, they're great. It's a great size, and you'll just have to fold up the mask a little more to fit it in. But right now I want to cut the larger size on the Maker, so I will click the eye icon to not cut the Joy size one for the moment, and I will cut this size. I'll confirm that the Maker or the Explore Air 2, whatever machine you're using, is selected, and click Make It. And this will show me a preview of how the material will lay down on the mat. and I need to cut a piece of faux leather a little over 8 inches wide and 5 inches tall. So I'll make a mental note of that. It's not necessary to mirror the mat, so I will click continue. I like to use the setting Faux Leather Paper Thin, which I have selected here as a favorite. If you don't have that setting in your favorites, you can click on Browse All Materials and search for it and find it that way. So I'll click on Faux Leather Paper Thin, and then I will click More as my pressure. And now we're ready to prepare the mat and make the cut. I've cut my faux leather to size, like I noted in the mat preview screen. I used an 8.5 by 11 sheet of faux leather, and I cut it in half and just trimmed it slightly to get to the right size. If you wanted to cut your mask holder from this, you certainly could. This would be the inside of the mask holder, which is a soft fabric, which is lovely. Or you could add some interest by layering some heat transfer vinyl inside. So I'll be showing you how I do that. This is Caesar glitter vinyl in the rose gold color. If you don't want to add glitter, you can add regular HTV or foil iron-on, or skip it all together. It's up to you. I will press both of these together first before I put the material on the mat to cut through the Cricut. If you don't want to do that, or if you're struggling with your particular materials and getting the cut to go all the way through, then you can simply cut 2 shapes of the mask holder, one from faux leather and one from glitter or whatever your heat transfer vinyl is, and put the 2 shapes together and press them after they're both cut. So to do it this way, I'll put the pretty side down on the faux leather. The shiny side goes up on the glitter, and you'll want to make sure the glitter or HTV is trimmed just smaller than the faux leather, so there's no danger of your vinyl getting stuck to your pressing pad. I'll use my Easy Press Mini on the medium setting. You can also use an Easy Press or a traditional heat press. I will cover it all over and press all over firmly for a few minutes. So I will do that first, and then I will show you what we do at the end after it's all pressed, and we'll take the next step. So I've already pressed this for, I would say, about 2 minutes all over, but I want to show you how it's important to make sure you press the edges and the corners. This is warm to the touch, so be careful when you're handling it. I want to keep the faux leather flat on the mat and peel away the cover sheet. If it seems like the glitter vinyl is lifting off of the faux leather, then you'll want to place it back down and continue to press. That looks pretty good. And then I like to go one more time with the Teflon sheet over everything, now that the cover sheet is removed, so we get more direct heat on the material. So I'm putting the glitter on the faux leather to add some interest and some structure when I fold it over. For the Joy size ones, I've struggled getting the Joy to cut through the Caesar glitter and the faux leather. So when I show you how to cut these on the Joy, I won't have the glitter liner inside, but you're welcome to experiment and try that. I just wanted to share that's been my experience so far making these. So I'll use my purple strong grip cutting mat, and I want to place the faux leather pretty side down in the same position as shown in the mat preview. I want to press it down very well with my hands on all sides, all over. And then I will use regular hardware store blue painter's tape and tape down on all the edges. You want to make sure your star wheels are moved to the side so they don't make tracks in your faux leather, and press the arrow button to load the mat. and the C button to start the cut. I want to check the cut with my weeding tool. And I can tell I want to cut this again. So I'll press the C button. As long as I haven't unloaded the mat, I can press the C button again and it will repeat the cut. And then what we need to do next is press down the little edge here so it kind of folds and makes a nice sharp crease. And before I press, I want to make sure I have the little tab in so it lines up nicely. And then I'll pull the tab out, keep it in place, put it down on my pressing pad, cover with a Teflon sheet. And again, with my Easy Press Mini on the medium setting, I'm just going to press this crease down. So now that I've pressed the crease, I will put this under something heavy and let it cool for a few minutes, and then I'll show you how I will decorate the back. Back in Cricut Design Space, I'm on my canvas and I have the large and the small mask holder SVGs here. And because I want to cut the blue one, the Joy sized one or the youth sized one, I will click the eye next to the pink one to hide that layer. I will drag this one up, and you don't want to adjust the sizes because this is the maximum size the pattern will fit to cut on the Joy mat. The most important thing we need to do next is to make sure that the Joy is the selected machine up here at the top bar. If you don't have Joy selected as your machine, it's not going to give you the appropriate settings and choices for you to be able to cut this on the Joy. So now I will click Make It. And I want to select On Mat. And that will show me a little preview. I could drag it to center it, which I'm going to do because I will be applying tape on all the edges, so that'll give me a little more room for tape. And I don't need to mirror this mat, so I will click Continue. I will choose Faux Leather Paper Thin and More. And the Joy will ask me to load the mat in the machine, which we'll prepare now, and then we'll take the next step. So let me show you how to make a Joy-sized mask holder. I'll be using this black smooth faux leather from Amazon, and I like it for the Joy size because it's the same color on the front as it is on the back, and I think that'll look nice when it's folded. So I will place it pretty side down on the Joy size mat. I cut it to size already. I just cut it to the size of the grid on the Cricut Joy mat because I know that the design will take up most of the mat. So I'll place it down, pretty side down, press it down all over with my hands, and then I will use blue painter's tape just to tape it down on all sides. Okay, we've got that all pressed down. And Design Space is prompting us to load the mat. And there is no C button on the Cricut Joy, so we have to press Go, a green button that lights up in Design Space. I'll use my sharp weeding tool to check the cut and see if I need to run the cut again, which I think I will just in case. On the Joy, rerunning the cut is a little different. You go into Design Space and there will be two options on the screen after you've cut a mat. Your options are rerun or unload. So I will rerun. I'll check the mat again. That looks good. So I will click unload. and remove the shape from the mat. The little cutouts came out nicely, and the inside is the same color as the outside. So this one I will leave without a lining on the inside, and I'll just put a name or some other decoration on the outside. But first I want to press it in the correct shape. So I use my heat press again for that, my Easy Press Mini on the medium setting. And what I want to do is line up the tab so that I know it's going in the right direction before I press the crease. It's a little hard to see, but I just basically want to make sure that the tab is going to go straight into the lines when I press the seam down. So I will put it down flat. Put my little Teflon sheet again. I'm basically pressing this fold down a little so it keeps its shape. So there's a little crease on the inside, and I'm going to place this under something heavy for a little bit so it cools off and it'll keep that nice crease. So I wanted to show you how I customized the mask holder with a name. I just took this is a Caesar glitter in the color called Blush, and I typed out in Cricut Design Space using the text tool the name Olivia, and the font that I chose is called Pacifico. It's a free font from dafont.com. So I installed that font on my computer, and then I used it in Cricut Design Space, and then I weeded out the letters and pressed the name on with my Easy Press Mini. I didn't want to disturb the nice crease that I had made, so I pressed it like that up against the edge and covered it with the Teflon sheet. And I just wanted to show you a couple different ways that you can use this. This is actually a very thick mask, so I wanted to show you how a thick mask fits in here. There's two ways you can use this. You can put it with the straps hanging out like that, or you could fold it up and tuck the straps in like I did with this little Joy sized one. And again, this is a very thick mask, so some of them will be thinner, but this big thick mask does fit inside the little Joy size too. I hope you like that project and you're thinking about making some mask holders yourself. It's a great, easy project, and it's also really functional and practical, so you can fold away your mask and keep it in your purse or your pocket. I think they also make great gifts, especially for teenagers and kids that you're not quite sure what to get a gift for. They also make great stocking stuffers. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.